Hello, Taurus. It's umomgtarot, and this is your Who's Reaching Out tarot card reading. Here we go. I gotta stage this place on some real though. I gotta stage this place because my cat, Minnie, you guys know her. She hasn't been interfering with reading today, but who knows what might happen. She's been meowing the entire perimeter of this apartment. That's how I sage. And she's been meowing at things. And fun fact is I live across the street from a cemetery, so she's not meowing at nothing. She's not meowing at nothing. And she always meows at that spiritual hour between 3 and 4 a.m. Why am I up at 3 and 4 a.m.? Insomnia. Alright, we're going to get to your reading now. Now that I've bared my soul to you, we're going to get to your reading right away. I'm using the astrology reading cards like I always do. And if you'd like to see any of the cards or buy any of the cards that I used, I put a link in the description so that you don't have to wonder what they're called. And then I'm going to use the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot for your spread. I'm going to use the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot for your spread. Okay, so let's get it going. Taurus, come on. Taurus, come on. I'm shuffling. I'm putting that Taurus energy, infusing it near my heart, near and dear to my heart. And we're going to see who's reaching out to Taurus. Where's that good juju at? First card. Scorpio. Okay. You want to show up again? You want to show up again. So Scorpios are really being all up in this energy. So if you have a Taurus sun, moon, rising, you're going to be experiencing some Scorpio-like energy. This energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, and magnetically charming, but also secretive and possessive. You got that water energy to it. And so when we have this Scorpio intense, deep water connection feeling type thing, we're dealing with Pluto energy, we're dealing with Mars energy. Pluto is very this like pondering life, the ins and outs of afterlife, and no, not asylums, but maybe like hospitals and surgeries, and you know, when you get into that zone of like, you know, in the movies where when they tell you you have a cancer prognosis and the doctor keeps talking and then all the audio gets all blurry and they zoom in on the patient's face as they get the news and stuff like that. Like, it's like that type of energy, Scorpio energy. So that's some deep thinking, some like astral projection type thinking. And so this person is reaching out based on some type of connection to that vibe. And I'm like, holy smokes, well, let's go in a positive direction, hopefully. Then we have Sagittarius. This energy imbues power, superior confidence, and enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. And just like you, I would like to high five. Because if we're going to start doing the deep ponderation, let's do it through the filters of a Sagittarius. Because they're very, very broad-minded, very enlightened, very wise, and a seeker of knowledge. So they're always into that higher learning, whether it's through experience, adventure, or, hey, picking up a book. Alright, so this person is also known to be somewhat of a man-eater type thing. Like, you know, male or female, doesn't matter, but the expression is there. Very attractive person. Very attractive person. Maybe this person is reaching out to know why. They want to clarify, educate themselves, learn something from you. Your next card. Aries is back. Aries is back. Okay, so we've got that person who's very fiery. We've got a person who's very, yes, adventurous. Yes, they want to explore. But that Aries energy is also very self-involved. Not in a negative way, but like they have a clear direction. They have a clear direction, an idea of what they want out of conversations. So looking at this fire and water energy, we have somebody who's kind of emotional. Not gonna lie, kind of emotional and more on the fiery side. So let's hope that this speaks to their quest or thirst for adventure more than it speaks to, you know, their anger. We don't want you angry. You can be, you know, there's some, you know, maybe self-righteousness could be there, up in there too. This person came to preach at you. Some of you guys may not be here for that. But we do have emotions running wild, hot for information, hot for adventure, and invested. So let's have a look. I've been shuffling the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, also in the description if you're curious. And here we go. Here's your first card. Moving on. Oh, you got the Six of Swords. Okay, so this person's trying to move on. Now, we may have touched on it earlier inadvertently about moving on, wanting to get some answers. Maybe they're a little resentful, maybe they're a little upset with you, and they want to know why. Why did you do this to me? Why? They're pondering the depth of life. Why? Why did you leave me? Alright, so I want to pause on that for a second. It can mean so many things. They're talking about moving on. Maybe they want help. Maybe they're inspired by you. Maybe they want information like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but we are dealing with the sword, so it's almost attracted to challenging aspects of life. So, alright, and then we have, boom, we got the trifecta of fire. We have Leo here with the Strength card. But the Strength card is in reverse. So, when we think about this, excuse me, when we think about this sitting next to the Six of Swords and the fact that this whole energy of, hey, moving on, is sitting next to the Endurance card. A long-term move on. This person reaching out has been trying to move on for a long time. They've been dealing with something for a long time. So this may be why they're inspired to reach out. May speak to that, but let's keep going and figure out a little bit more. Here now we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so exploring options, trying to move on, and before they can move on and explore other options, boom, we have the Endurance card interfering between the 6 and the 7. So some people are, okay, so if this is speaking to relationships, we can be dealing with somebody who hasn't moved on just based on the idea that you might come back, or they might come back, or something might happen. So they have been prolonging their moving on. Like, this is somebody blaming you for, oh, I would have moved to Michigan if it wasn't for you, because I thought that we were gonna da-da-da. I thought we were just on again, off again. You know, I thought, well, you thought wrong. Okay? Well, you thought wrong. That fire energy is almost making it like you can't see past your emotions. This Endurance card next to the Seven of Cups makes it feel like this person is putting is either being treated like an option, or their options are in front of them, but they're not making a definitive decision because they just want to hang out in limbo and endure this foolishness. I'm wondering if, like, this person, it's almost like you're dealing with somebody who should have been moved on in a relationship. If this is in a relationship reading, somebody who should have been moved on, but they just haven't. And it's almost like they want to acknowledge that they could have moved on, but they didn't. Like you're an option. That's a little cocky, a little arrogant. That does remind me of Aries, Sagittarius energy when it comes to dating. That's some type of manipulation. I don't really like that. Let's keep going. Then we have the Emperor card making another Aries type cameo appearance. In reverse, a little selfishness. Definitely doubling down on that energy of manipulation. Usually the Emperor is very, you know, I like you. You're very mature. You're very responsible. You know, got a good work ethic to you. But I'm not mad at you, Emperor. But you seem to be disappointing me when you're in reverse, because that means that your leadership especially is faltering. Something's going on there. And your intentions may be a little selfish when you act because, again, Aries energy on Aries energy, in a reading with swords. The only thing that gives me like some type of, okay, well, you know, things might be progressing as I ask myself why, hovering over Sagittarius, trying to be informed, trying to seek out options. This person might be trying to figure things out past what has happened. Maybe this person has been just in a state of limbo hoping that things will work out, and now they've reached a point where they're like, you know what? I gotta make a definitive decision. I gotta be the Aries, have the level of initiative of an Aries and get things started, get things moving, especially as a fire indicator here. And especially with that whole Emperor energy and the leadership theme, it's almost like they have to like assert themselves and ask questions, and you know, you may feel like some interrogation is in order there. We got more fire co-signing this reading with the Temperance card in reverse. So this person may be losing faith. So this person may be losing some faith here. Some of you guys are in a relationship where your partner is kind of wondering, why the heck am I still enduring this foolishness? Alright? Why am I still putting myself through this? There may be passion, there may be fire, there may be good sexual chemistry, but I feel like they have other options, or they have other things that they'd like to explore. They have other dreams, other fantasies, and they want to go on other adventures. Some people are like, oh, I knew it. And some people are like, oh my god, what? This reading is really turning around here. I don't like it. Some of you sensed it, but you didn't want to admit it, and now it's validating some of those thoughts. Now this person is supposed to be a traditional figure in the household. I'm supposed to be able to rely on you for things, and it's not because I ask, it's because that's the offering that you bring, and that's what I signed up for, right? But excuse me, we have this Temperance card in reverse, and that card upright is supposed to be healing, resolve, synthesis, reconciliation. But in reverse, it's almost like, no, I don't want to make up. I don't have any faith in this relationship. I don't have any faith in this situationship. Right? But this comes at the end of the reading, so it's weird because the Aries is the beginning of the deck, and it makes me feel like, oh, you're just kind of being selfish right now. You're going through a little bout of being selfish. You're seeing me as an option right now. You know, you're not in a state of appreciation right now. You're not passionate about me right now. Seems like it's firing, and you know the thing about fire is that it's not one of those things that just goes on and on and on. Like, what the heck? Unless it's like a furnace, unless it's contained. Fire is wild, and Sagittarius, they're very much about travel and being free and exploring and being on this adventure, and that's what makes me feel like the Sagittarius energy with the Temperance card and the Theme card and the options. It's like one of those Sagittarius situations where when they're in a relationship, they feel like they're being held back because they have commitment issues. But when they get to be free, then they're like, oh man. That's why I feel like this is like, you know, healing and reconciliation is here. But right now, I'm on my worst behavior. I'm on my Aries little kid in a candy store. I need to be free, Sagittarius, non-committal. Yeah, I'm possessive of you, so here comes a little bit of manipulation, right? We've been doing this for a long time, and I'm kind of bored, you know, type, let me see what I can get. You know, maybe this person isn't like, I'm not saying they're cheating or anything like that. I feel like they're wondering more than anything, what lies beyond? Let me break up so I can get on these dating apps, because Sagittarius usually have some integrity thing in their head. Maybe they just believe in karma. Definitely Scorpios believe in karma, so not really thinking about, let me betray you. They're thinking, let me explore my mind and stuff like that. But it feels like it's like are you just going through some fiery up and down where you're just going to be all selfish for a minute, and then you're going to come back with the roses? Be like, I'm sorry, babe. Because I feel like that's what this, when we're talking, you know, relationships, dynamics, just that whole, I don't know what I want, and then you get on the app and they see all them things. Or they go out there to the social and then they realize they ain't So they're like, oh my gosh, I was just kidding, I was kidding. Babe. Feels like one of those. That's awesome though. Yo, if I knew that was gonna happen before it happened, I'd be like, go. Go do it. Do what you want. You'll reap what you sow. Actually, no, I wouldn't be that bold. I'd still be like, hey, no, wrap it up. Or I don't know what I would do. I don't know. But anyways, that's your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, share the video, all them kind things. And if you'd like a personal reading, please check out the description for a link to my website, as well as a link to my Etsy shop. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.